be here today and be able to introduce Mayor Michael Hancock. 4 years ago, he had the Mobility Action Plan created, a vision set out to implement a lot of things to be able to move more people within the city of Denver. And so we're here today to implement one of those pieces of vision. And I also wanted to thank our Climate Action and Sustainability and Resiliency Office, who's partner in this today. Without further ado, I want to introduce Mr. Mayor Michael Hancock.
Thanks, sir. Thank you. Hey, Montbello. We are so glad to be here. What a beautiful day, huh? Just in time for the trick-or-treaters to get out there. Let me just take us back a little bit just to remind us of where this journey that we've taken. But before I do that, I want to acknowledge and thank her for her leadership, Councilwoman Stacey Gilmore. You know, she's my council representative, and it's hard to have the mayor living in your district. When things go wrong, I just blame them on her. No, really, we are so very fortunate to have her represent us in this area. And the fact that we are unveiling this innovative strategy, pilot program out here in Montbello, I think says a lot about her and her leadership and really her acknowledgement of understanding what the people of her district need and want. Back in 2017, I made a pledge that we would spend about $2 billion on our roads and our transportation infrastructure, recognizing not only that we need to improve our roads and we need ability and mobility in our city, but we need to positively impact and strengthen ourselves for the fight against climate change. And as part of that effort, in 2019, the people of Denver approved the transition from Public Works to a Department of Transportation and Infrastructure. What a lot of people did not or may have missed when they did that was that we also asked the people to give the city of Denver the ability to do intra-transit development or programming, which meant that we would create our own transit efforts in the city of Denver if we didn't feel like the needs of our people were being met, and that if we felt like we could further our efforts around climate change. Today, as part of that effort, we are unveiling this wonderful Montbello Connector that is really going to give us an opportunity to move the people of Montbello in their own neighborhood from point A to point B as part of a free pilot program. These automobiles that are behind us as we celebrate the Montbello or the Northeast Transportation Connector, these cars behind us, 2 of the 3 that hit the streets are electric. So what does that mean? They're also helping us with our efforts around climate change. So let's give it up for climate change. And Grace Rink, thank you for being here. Because through the Climate Action Fund that was approved by the people last year, we were able to fund vehicle number 3, which is electric, that will be moving people. So here in Montbello, we have this connector that residents can either call or download an app to request transportation from point A to point B, or point D if they want to go to point D. The reality is this: Montbello represents the kind of neighborhood that we want this type of program to flourish. This neighborhood represents where a vast majority of the people live, work, and play in the same neighborhood. So we will be able to help take cars off the road, give people some greater mobility to get them from home to work and back home or to the grocery store, whatever is needed for them to improve their quality of life and their mobility in their neighborhood. This is a groundbreaking opportunity. We are creating greater mobility, and we are combating climate change at the same time. And so we're glad to be here with you all today. Thank you to the people of Denver for the vision and the foresight and the real understanding what it takes for us to address climate change and mobility challenges in the neighborhood. And thank you to Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, the team that just does a phenomenal job in making sure that we are doing what the people have asked us to do. To our Climate Action and Resiliency team, let me get it right, Climate Action, Sustainability, and Resilient team led by Grace Rink, we thank you as well. And with that, we want to bring up the illustrious councilwoman for this district, the Honorable Stacey Gilmore.
Thank you so much, Mayor Hancock, and I am the proud representative of District 11. I have been a resident of the Montbello community for over 25 years, and this is an amazing day in Montbello. transportation has always been a barrier to our community. And by lowering those barriers, we open up the opportunities for people for workforce development, for access to education, for access to food resources, healthcare, et cetera, by having this micro connector pilot in the Montbello community. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank Mayor Hancock for his amazing leadership as well, and the Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, Dottie, our Climate Action, Sustainability and Resilience Office with Grace Rink, and then as well, Northeast Transportation Connections, because they are the community-based organization that are helping us coordinate this work. You need to have those trust relationships built up, especially in communities of color, for people to take advantage of and utilize these resources. And I want to thank our city partners and community-based groups such as Montbello Walks, Montbello 2020, our different partners as well with Montbello Organizing Committee, and all of the different nonprofits that we've really worked on shoring them up so that we can have robust, comprehensive services for our residents here. You know, when I came into office in 2015, I ran on a platform of making sure that we were going to connect some of the transportation gaps that we had for decades that I know Mayor Hancock worked on when he was the council person out here. And I just want to share with you some of the continued infrastructure improvements that we're going to see in District 11. We have the expansion of 56th Avenue, which is set to start construction in 2022. Thank you, that's a huge one. It's from Peoria to Pena Boulevard, so that's gonna widen it an additional 2 lanes. We're gonna have curb, gutter, sidewalk along that stretch. We are gonna have bike lanes soon added on 51st Avenue, yes. Andrews Drive and Green Valley Ranch Boulevard. Some of those are going to be parking protected bike lanes, which is awesome for the neighborhood, especially if you have little ones who you're taking out riding bikes with. We've had countless light signals and stop signs, and now a transit service for our community. I want to congratulate all of the partners that worked so hard on this, and I look forward to the expansion of this pilot. So it's not just a pilot, so it's really how we look at transportation in the city and county of Denver to really connect our communities to those needed resources. And I am really honored to introduce Eric from Northeast Transportation Connections now to talk a little bit more about their work.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you everyone for having us here today. Definitely again want to thank the mayor and city council for their leadership and for the city's expansion with the Denver Department of Transportation and Infrastructure, as well as the Office of Climate Action, Sustainability and Resiliency, to be able to bring innovative mobility projects to Northeast Denver, such as this one, so quickly. Definitely want to also thank the community partners, the nonprofits, everyone who was a part of the steering committee, who's been at this project since day one, really when it was just an idea on paper, bringing it to what it is today, an on-demand service, point-to-point, serving the Montbello community, as well as the Peoria train station. We are honored as NETC, the Northeast Transportation Connections, to be a part of this project, to be trusted by the community partners, to be trusted by the city to help manage this service. Again, I think we all want to be here celebrating this time next year with expanding the service. So we're really just trying to get the word out right now that it exists, that it's something for free for everybody to use. Just a quick snapshot, we have on average about 60 riders a day right now. We're on track to double that in the coming weeks. I think yesterday was our best day yet at just under 80 passengers. Again, it's at least half of the participants are taking it to and from the Peoria train station. That first last mile connection that we really needed in Northeast Denver. I also want to make sure everybody today downloads the app. It's the Montbello Connector app. If you haven't yet, come by our table, grab a postcard. We'll help you download the app. Tell your neighbors, tell your family. There's no reason that anybody in Montbello shouldn't have this on their phone for when they need it. You can also call the service to write it. It's in English and in Spanish. Please go get some barbecue. Everybody should have a barbecue stain on their shirt by the time we leave today. And thanks again for having us here and bringing us to the table as a partner.
I want to make sure, first of all, we want to really encourage residents to use this, to download the app and make sure they use it. Have you seen the price of fuel these days? So this makes a lot of sense. It's right on time. Nancy, is there anyone else? Okay. All right, let's go get some photo op over here at the car. But congratulations, Montbello. Take the ride.